On day 13 of the Mariadine trial, Detective Constable Ricardo Evans was called to the stand as the prosecution's seventh witness. Mr. Evans, a forensic crime scene investigator, testified that on August 3, 2014, the day Dean was beaten, he was requested to process a scene at the Barnett Street Police Station, where he was informed that a case of wounding with intent had transpired. Armed with his service-issued camera, flashcard, and evidence collection kit, he said he left the Summit Police Station in St. James with his colleague and headed to the location. Mr. Evans said he got to the Barnett Street Police Station at about 1:30 p.m. He noted that he later saw a police officer who told him the reason for the request. He further testified that he requested to see the cell block area where Dean was beaten and was later escorted by Constable Marlon Grant. The prosecution later asked Mr. Evans whether he could identify the constable in the courtroom, to which he responded, yes. Mr. Evans later stressed that he had minimal interaction with Constable Grant and that he did not know the accused prior to his visit. The cop was also asked specific questions about his role while he was assigned to the Negril Police Station in Westmoreland during the period 2003-2009, where he said he conducted regular police duties, one being a station guard. Defense attorney Martin Thomas later raised an objection, questioning the relevance of the August 3, 2014 incident at the Barnett Street lockup. However, High Court Justice Courtney Day overruled his objection, citing that the questions of the lockup administration policy and procedure of the JCF regarding cell duty is relevant to the trial as it concerns the deceased Mario Dean. The JCF's lockup administration policy and procedure speaks to how a prisoner should be treated while in custody. It was revised in 2009. Meanwhile, head of forensic at Indicom Peter Parkinson completed his evidence in chief on Friday. The matter was adjourned. The trial will continue on April 8, where Mr. Evans will continue his evidence in chief and will be cross-examined. Allegations are that Dean was arrested for the possession of a ganja spliff and placed in custody at the Barnett Street lockup in St. James, where he was reportedly beaten on August 3, 2014. Dean succumbed to his injuries 3 days later at the Cornwall Regional Hospital. Kimberly Petty for TVJ News.
Yes, we hear the government show say poverty gone down. You know, the first time since them had take stab at it. Poverty is less now. Unemployment is less now. Murder, gunman is less now. So you know, so we have moved to a utopia now. A Shangri-La. Hope we can reach there. I not go down to them and say, you know. I not go to them and say, because it's everybody hope that what is being said is what has been done. You know, we need to see some light at the end of the tunnel. And I tell you, say the tunnel long. So, we just say, I mean, we know the election are come on and them need to say certain things. But I don't want to start the doubt. I go get my mind turn round and twist round. Because them done corrupt already. And if them have said these things, especially now, and put it in a certain people's head, say, I saw it go. You know, the people, them, you know, you push a dog around for so long. One day that dog and go and turn and bite you. You back up a rat in a corner and go and jump on you. So we just hope, say, them statistics, we them show the people them, it's proper. We hope so. As far as me say, the same people them up on the road, I beg, the same people them down at the Coronation Market, a pressure man for buy from them. And the same thing me see I go on. So if them know something with me know, well, so be it. Oh, and to we have an outside link here go on, Smirnoff broadcast. And as a matter of fact, we want to remind you about the special feature we have at 4 o'clock, which is called the People's Court, where we're going to take your call on a certain subject. So we want you to tune into that. But meanwhile, anybody hear about this little girl where get shot in her head? A woman in her bathroom, a bed, and a little girl up on the bed, and all of a sudden she hear, boy! When she run go out in the bedroom, and the little girl that dead, a gunshot. Nobody no broke in the house, I can't tell the police them, I say. Oh, that little girl get shot. If it personally, well, I'm going to assume, say, the mother in the bathroom. I wonder if other children was there. Because it just come away. If nobody no broke in the house and little girl dead. Could it be that she shot herself playing with a gun? Then if that happened now, the woman who in the bathroom is a licensed gun owner. How the little girl get her gun? And if it's not the little girl, was somebody else, another little girl or a little boy in the room. And some terrible thing are going on, you wonder how these things just happen at this time. Them say this is, what them call it, Child's Month. You know much things happen to picnic this month, Rasta. How the little girl they get killed. I don't hear yet, maybe it happened and I don't hear what caused it. But, I mean, them knows what caused it is a bullet. But where the bullet come from? Who for gun? Was it a deliberate kill or was it an accident or a mistake? Maybe the mother them did want, I don't know. But it's sad, Rasta. It's sad that every time you hear these things, you hear it says a little picnic. A little picnic, Rasta. Just gone, just so. Just like the week before and the week before. And we see the people them are burn things in a grand spend because police go shoot one ones and them are object to that. I don't hear what the youth was supposed to do, why him get shot or what was the outcome of that neither because a big fire blaze in a grand spend in the road. We don't understand what is happening in Jamaica, Rasta. The thing I get away. You know, when you think say, there's one thing done and next thing happen, it can't just go run for a month. Why Jamaica can't run for a month without no car accident, no gun shooting, no police shooting? You know, why just a month? Oh, we can't do that. People must can control their madness. Why we can't have a month of nothing happening? I got too boring. It boy, I tell you. Anybody hear about this little girl where get shot in her head? A woman in her bathroom, a bed, and a little girl up on the bed, and all of a sudden she hear, boy! When she run go out in the bedroom, and the little girl that dead, a gunshot. Nobody no broke in the house, I can't tell the police them, I say. Oh, that little girl get shot. If it personally, well, I'm going to assume, say, the mother in the bathroom. I wonder if other children was there. Because it just come away. If nobody no broke in the house and little girl dead. Could it be that she shot herself playing with a gun? Then if that happened now, the woman who in the bathroom is a licensed gun owner. How the little girl get her gun? And if it's not the little girl, it was somebody else, another little girl or a little boy in the room. And some terrible thing are going on, and you wonder how these things just happen at this time. Them say this is what them call it, Child's Month. You know, much things happen to picnic this month, Rasta. How the little girl that get killed? I don't hear yet, you know, maybe it happened and I don't hear what caused it. But, I mean, them knows what caused it is a bullet. But where the bullet come from? Who for gun? Was it a deliberate kill or was it an accident or a mistake? Maybe the mother them did want, I don't know. But it's sad, Rasta. It's sad that every time you hear these things, you hear it says a little pick-me. A little pick-me, Rasta. Just gone, just so. Just like the week before and the week before. And we see the people, them are burn things in a grand spender because police go shoot ones and them are object to that. I don't hear what the youth was supposed to do, why him get shot or what was the outcome of that neither, because a big fire blaze in a grand spender in the road. We don't understand what is happening in Jamaica, Rasta. The thing I get away. You know, when you think so, there's one thing done and next thing happen. It can't just go run for a month. Why Jamaica can't run for a month without no car accident, no gun shooting, no police shooting? You know, why just a month? Oh, we can't do that. People, you know, people must can control the madness. Why we can't have a month of nothing happening? I got too boring. I tell you. Anyway, we're going to take a time signal and come forward.
ABC 11.
Yes, and JLP FM, I mean, every day, from that idea, man, notice, you know, every day, the Prime Minister says something on radio now. Yeah, man, every day. One time I hear from him, you know, no, every day, especially on JLP FM. JLP FM not easy. The man, them carry everything where him don't do, everything where him do. Now the people, them have to recognize that in a them time, yeah. This is the time now when you hear so much things that ring around your head, you know, that you hardly can choose again. And the man who talk the most, and you hear him voice the most, more than likely him go left an impression upon you the most. So I want the people them to think it out. Look at your situation from the last election to now. Look at your situation where you find yourself in or where you're still in. Look at the people them who live near you and around you. Look at your picnic and your man, or if you're a man, look at your woman. And sit down in a corner and ask yourself if your life is much better now since the last election. Look on it. This is how you're going to decide what you're going to do, you know. It's either you're going to vote one way or the other way, or you don't vote. You have to look on, is my life better off now than 4 years ago? For my children, my wife, or my woman, or me? Am I in a better opportunity if I have a little money in the bank where if anything happens, I can run go to hospital? If my light bill lock up because I can't pay the light bill still, can I afford now to pay the light bill? Am I still running up and down the road to find which part of the nearest pipe there to catch water? Look on the road, am I still graveling over gravel to go to work? Do I have to have 2 shoes? And this is the woman them. Do I have to have 2 shoes to go to work? One where I left my yard, and when I reach near the workplace, I put on the other one to make it not look a certain way. Because that is what most people, women do. They have one shoes, what them call the good shoes, wrap up in a one paper and put in their handbag. And then you have the other one now, when them are left their yard, because the road not so proper and dirt could have on the road with a little mud. Them walk in other shoes, and when they nearly reach, them look if anybody will look and take off it and put on the other one, and cripsy, and go into the office like, yes. You have to look on all these things. You have to look on the thing. Can I afford the taxi fare? Can I afford the bus fare for my children? Can I afford to give them lunch? Is my man coming home early in the evening so I can cook for him because him can afford to give me money to go to supermarket or market? All of these things you have to look on. And if the answer is no, you're in a serious problem. If when the day come, you're up on one of them coaster bus, and I say you go and go vote, or you go and go cheer because you have to go in an election rally, and you have to go here so and this so. And when you're done, you're in the same situation where you did in 4 years ago. You have to stop it. You have to stop it, man. Stop run down coaster bus. Stop put up the politician to buy a give you $5,000 to vote. Because a whole heap of that go run that year, you know. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Like how the man get razor pay. Like how the politician get razor pay now. Them just dump some of that in the pocket and say, watch, I go vote for me. See a $5,000, yeah. I mean, when you buy the $5,000, you can buy a boom for yourself too. Because even though I get the $5,000, you know, I know I will get it back. But say a boom, buy yourself a boom and blow up yourself out there. We have to really take a stock because it's not lovely. It's not lovely. Even though they might say it's lovely, but it's not lovely. It's not lovely at all. As me I say, look at the situation where you're in and now and look at it then and see if it change now. That is what you need to do. Don't take what you hear on radio from them. Because that's what politicians they have to do, you know. Talk enough and tell lie. That is what them they have to do. Talk enough and tell lie. And them capture you so much that them get so, they are so articulate in their speech that you don't know what to do and then you get thrown off and digress. This is the stepping razor, the art of war.
As Jamaicans prepare for massive cleanup activities on Labor Day tomorrow, the National Solid Waste Management Authority, NSWMA, is urging them to properly containerize their waste. Containerization is the practice of securely packaging solid waste in garbage bags and placing it in designated containers such as drums or skips for collection. Executive Director of the NSWMA, Audie Gordon, said in encouraging this practice, stressed that proper waste handling saves time and benefits everyone. A 48-hour curfew has been imposed in Grandstand and sections of Barbican Road in the St. Andrew North Police Division. It began at 6 last evening and will run until 6 p.m. tomorrow. It follows a fiery protest by residents of Grandstand yesterday. They are upset about an alleged fatal police shooting. The boundaries of the curfew cover Shortwood Road, Markland Drive, Andrews Pen Lane, Barbican Road, Kingston 8 and Grandstand Road. During the curfew, all persons within the boundaries must remain in their premises unless permitted by the ground commander to leave. In news overseas, several people are believed to have died after a small plane crashed on a residential street in San Diego, California, in the United States this morning. No resident was seriously injured, but there are reports that some of the 10 people aboard the Cessna 550 aircraft died. The BBC says several homes were destroyed and cars caught fire after the private aircraft crashed into the Murphy Cannon residential neighborhood of the city. Police say around 100 people have been evacuated from nearby areas. Finally, the United Kingdom has signed a deal to hand over the Chagos Islands to Mauritius. The UK will also lease back the military base there for an average of £101 million a year. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer says the deal, which involves leasing the base for 99 years with the option of another 40 years, is in the UK's national interest. The Chagos Islands were separated from Mauritius in 1965 when Mauritius was still a British colony, and the UK purchased them for £3 million.
Everybody live now in Africa. Leroy Siblings, not Leroy Siblings, you know. Leroy Siblings, I got to sing a tune about the person who live on everybody lives in Africa. Here we go. Ivory Coast, because the Ivory Coast, them are bringing the American army for build army base right beside on the border of Burkina Faso. And the people, them say them don't want none of that in them country, so big coup in a Cote d'Ivoire, yeah. He said, why, them time of year, I don't know if it's our time of year now, though, Labor Day time, and enough things them people are give away, you know. Me I tell you, man, I love things them are give away. You see, when them don't give away them things, and the next set we are coming, tariff, yeah. Anyway, we are going to the music here, so we are reminded that at 4 o'clock, remember, we have this special feature here, People's Court, we bring in a lawyer, and we talk about things that affect the people of Jamaica, legally and otherwise, you understand? So, why you tune in for that? So here we go now. Is that seen as careless if the gun in the bag and next week you going to go take out the gun? I don't know if it's carelessness or she should have, since she knows that she have the gun, maybe she should have put it up in a certain way that the people them can't reach it. I don't know it go. But the little youth take out the gun and shoot that little youth. So I don't know how they're going to treat that one there in terms of, was it carelessness or just something that just happened? Terrible thing for do happen though. Terrible thing for happen.
Hey, trouble in my mind.
It's our body. Because she show it up to, you know. So it's not a matter of belief. A whole heap of man don't know nothing about no love. Love where? He want a peace. A peace in my dad. He say, peace of the meat too. Like say, it's a carnivorous thing he might deal with. Anyway.
The oversight group would, from what I understand, are based in the UK.
Okay.
Yeah. But when they were doing the questionnaires, I'm just here looking on their report because I've got this online in terms of their report. So when they did their report, they spoke to people so they did a report in 2023. It wasn't just a report, it was a questionnaire in Jamaica, Barbados. They went across all of the regions where they say they want to give money to. And they got 1,000 persons in total from across those regions to take part in the questionnaire and to say what they thought about it, what they would the initiative, what they thought the money should be spent on, and so on and so forth. And that's online in their report. And I just want the Jamaican listeners to understand, Luther, when we say 100 million over 9 years in Jamaican dollars, because I had to work out, I thought, let me see what this works out in Jamaican dollars. Let me see if I can say this. 21 billion, 352 million, 180,374 and $3,200.
That is 21 billion.
That's 100 billion. That's 100 billion.
And that's over 9 years.
Yeah. So that's 100 billion. So to a Jamaican hearing that, wow, the Church of England are giving 21 billion. That sounds like a lot of money, I would imagine.
No.
But it's not when you begin to split it across countries and different actors come into play to say, no, we want this funding, we want that funding. And I'm not sure how it's going to work. So we had a meeting on the 10th of May. It was called Let's Talk Reparations, which was put on by Black Story Partnership.
Yeah.
And they said, let's have a discussion about this and do a 3-part series. So what came out that was very clear was that people don't really have an understanding of reparations. It's not their fault. The United Nations has come up with their own sort of definition as to what is reparations. So in order for something to be classified as reparations, it has to touch on 5 points. And what they're saying is that the Church of England does not come under those 5 points. They skim close by, but they don't come under those 5 points. So the first one was origin and accountability, and so on and so forth. And then they listed 5 different types of reparation: restitution, compensation, rehabilitation, satisfaction, and guarantees of non-repetition. And so by this criteria, the Church of England, with the help of the oversight community, remember now the oversight community was made up of leading reparation activists from the UK, they too agreed that it's not reparations. So it's not that the Church of England saying this, it's the reparations movement in the UK. Certain actors came into play and they said, this is not reparations, so let's get clear as to what it actually is. This is a fund to heal and repair. And that's why they call it the Fund for Healing, Repair and Justice.
What does that reparation mean? What does that reparation mean? The definition that you just give, that is what reparation means.
Most certainly. And so I said, okay, we've just had this meeting. We're having another one at the launch of Black History Month on September 27th in Birmingham. I said, let's bring in the Caribbean to this discussion and Africa. And let's bring in the experts from those regions who can begin to help look at this. I was hoping the organization, I asked them to bring them in for the first part, but they weren't, because of time and constraints. They weren't able to. So they're going to bring them in, hopefully, for September the 27th to really iron out. Because I said, well, what you need, number one, when they put 100 million on the table, but originally it was 430 million. So we need to know what happened to the other 330 million. Where's that gone? Yeah. Now, the Church of England is saying, well, we don't have all this money to keep, to be pulling out and given out. Yet they sit on a fund of 10.1 billion. So part of this money that they want to give to the 100 million, they're saying for every 20 million that they give, it has to bring back 3 to 5 million. That goes into a fund that will last indefinitely. So in other words, the same way they've been able to take their money over the generations, and they now add up to 10.1 billion, they're going to do the same with this 100 million. But they're asking that other organizations come in to try and get to 1 billion.
1 billion.
Which is, not from their kitty. They're not touching their 10.1 billion, but from Barclays to come in, lawyers to come in, and so on and so forth. But it hasn't worked so far because other groups got their own, other organizations have their own initiatives that they're spearheading.
Well,
it's a very explosive, it's very contentious, the whole thing. And I do think we're not going to proceed by just having black people in the UK setting the agenda. It has to be a collective effort. I know there's a lot of division within the reparations movement. And we need to get young people on board as well, because this is going to benefit them also into the future. So there's a lot of work to be done between now, I think, and September to see how we can get. Who do we approach in the Caribbean? In Jamaica? Who do we approach in Barbados? Yeah? could be approaching in the Americas.
And Cobia, tell the sister who brought me to Birmingham last year. Last year, I Birmingham the year before. Tell her she must send back for me in September. That's what she must do. Send me back. Come back for me in September.
That's not that sister. That's not the sister who's doing this one. That's another sister, Audrey. But I will pass on the message to Audrey because she did want to bring you over last year, but she didn't get to. So I'll ask her to see, especially considering that you have extensive experience within the reparations movement. But they also need to be speaking to people like Maureen Shepherd.
Yes, I want Maureen Shepherd
from Barbados.
You never talked to Maureen Shepherd. You talked to her?
I haven't talked to her yet. I know Maureen, but I haven't spoken to her about this yet.
But she must know about it, though. I mean, she's one of the top.
I asked them. I gave them all the details and said, contact these people. These are the people you need to get involved. But it was very difficult.
You contact them already.
Because there's so much. Yeah, it's so much. Well, they haven't. I've given the details for them to contact them. They haven't been able to do so yet because there's so much players involved. They were just trying to nail things down this end. Yeah. So we asked first, let's meet with the church commissioners and some of the persons from the oversight group, and one or two persons, English persons whose ancestors were actually involved in the enslaving of our ancestors in Jamaica. And they came along also, as well as black activists from the UK. So we all had a discussion. Unfortunately, the church commissioner representative was unable to attend at the very last minute. But we're hoping that they will come forward in September and meet, because we don't have that sort of. We have obviously scholarship in the UK, but I think you need the higher level of the Maureen Shepherd, who's actively given her life to the reparations movement. And we also need these persons to find out who are the forensic accountants, these persons with expert knowledge, who can go back into historical data and say, hold on, where are you getting this £100 million from?
You come to it.
We need the Caribbean governments need to be sending people over to do the research and look into this.
All right, we have to move now. We have to move.
All right, give thanks. We need everybody in Jamaica.
Yeah, man, and just keep me intact and keep me in line. And yes, I love when you tell me certain things. Trust me. All right?
All right, give thanks to the link motor. Blessings.
Yeah, man. That was on Kobe out of Birmingham, former radio presenter and Pan-Africanist. Serious sister in England there, yes. So, we're going go now. We have another thing a line of it.
Employers, there's still time to get back on track with 100% waiver of interest on outstanding NHS.
The Legal Aid Clinic ensure that all Jamaicans have access to justice, regardless of their financial means. So we have a legal aid clinic. We have the executive director of the Legal Aid Council here to answer your questions about what is it. Well, she will explain the topic. That is the first thing. She will explain the topic. And then we're going to open the phone line about the Legal Aid Clinic, what it is all about and what it have offering and all these things. So we're going to see if she's on the line here. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Oh, you're there.
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, Mrs. Watson.
I wouldn't miss this opportunity at all to come and speak with you.
You want to talk to? All right. Executive Director, Legal Aid Council. What the Legal Aid Council do? What them do?
So the Legal Aid Council, we're a government entity. We're established by law, that is the Legal Aid Act, and to ensure that all Jamaicans, especially those who cannot afford it, have access to legal representation and access to justice that you just talked about. And currently what we do is that we provide lawyers for persons in criminal cases. So now, in the beginning, I know there was also confusion between clinic and council. So I want to explain that the Legal Aid Council is different from legal aid clinics.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The clinics assist persons with lawyers in civil matters.
Yeah.
And civil matters are like legal disputes between individuals, or organizations where, people sue each other. And these matters we're referring to are matters like relating to contract, personal injury, land matters, divorce, and so on. But it's different from criminal matters which involve crime and police.
Okay, I understand. So they
Right.
did at the clinic. Okay, all right, I understand that. So
the services you're asking.
It provides services to people who cannot go further than clinic.
No, it provides services especially for people who have criminal cases.
Yeah.
Well, we do a little more than that. So let me explain it for you. So we provide lawyers for persons who are detained or arrested and charged with a criminal offense.
Okay.
So if somebody is arrested, police come and detain them.
Yes.
We will send a lawyer who we call a duty counsel. So that duty counsel go to the station, help the person, advise them, represent them at a question and answer session or identification parade, and duty counsel will go up to the first court date because, police is not supposed to question you or put you in an ID parade without a lawyer.
Yeah.
Right. So if you can't afford it, we will provide one. And then now we also provide lawyers to assist persons to defend their case, their criminal cases. This service is offered in all courts, parish court, gun court, circuit, and court of appeal. So we'll send lawyers if you have a criminal case, and we'll send a lawyer to represent you throughout the case from beginning to end. And if you want to appeal, we'll assign a lawyer as well.
So the lawyer is who pay the lawyer?
So the lawyer, they're paid by the Ministry of Justice.
Okay.
Yes, the lawyers are paid by the Ministry of Justice. So they're not free. They're paid. They may not be paid market rate, but they're paid by the ministry.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we also, in addition to that, though, we offer a mobile justice service. So we have a bus on the road, and we travel in these buses, lawyers on the buses, and we travel across the island. And we make scheduled visits to targeted communities, and we go to justice centers, and we provide free legal advice and information to persons who need it.
I don't know, nobody never passed my yard yet. One who never passed the bus.
Yeah, you know what? Probably you're not looking out for us.
No,
big Ministry of Justice donated by the Canadians.
Me never know all of that.
Canadian government.
You tell me something I never know. So I have a bus where travel all around with lawyers upon it.
Yes. Free advice. Legal fees not cheap.
No, definitely not. That's why a whole lot of people get caught. Because you can't pay the bill and don't know where to turn and them things there. So we want to say, talk.
I was only going to say that we give advice. So when we go on the bus now, we give advice on all kinds of matters, all the contract matters, all land matters, divorce. We give advice on all those kinds of matters. Because we want to empower people. And we go to, as I tell you, we go to the disabled community. We go everywhere people need our assistance, especially those who are vulnerable and cannot, help themselves.
All right. Know that we want to see if anybody on the line why ask a question pertaining to this legal thing. Because, as I say, it's enough Jamaicans don't know how to turn, where to turn. And I never know, say, you have bus of travel with lawyers. I go around the island and get by. I never know that. So at least, all right. So, when you say, all right. So, when you say, we know where you're there. We know where you're there. Tell me, all the people.
Right. So we're at 6 Oxford Road.
No. I mean the bus.
The side of the bus. Okay.
Yeah.
So the bus schedule is on the Ministry of Justice website. That's moj.gov.jm. So it's on the Ministry of Justice website. So, or they can call us at the office and we tell you where we're going to be.
Oh, they have to call you at the office. And
they can call us.
And the number that is here is not the number there. Tell me the number.
It's 948.
Wait there. Let me write it down. Call them. Call me again when you're there. 948.
6999.
6999. All right.
And we also go to community-based outreach activities, such as workshops, seminars. If you any group that wants us, PTA group, club, to speak on any legal matter, just call us. Give us 4 weeks notice, and we'll be there.
I never know so them things are going on with this boss.
Yes, plenty things happening, good things happening, man. People need to know.
Yeah. Okay.
And we also offer virtual consultations. So if you have a legal matter, you can call in to us and we'll talk to you on the phone, or you can send an email and we'll respond to it. Legal.
L-E-G-A-L.
At moj.gov. .jm.
One more things. People can't hold it.
Oh,
JM. I love things. That's AID dot legal at MOJ.
At moj.gov.
G-O-B?
G-O-V, gov, like government. G-O-V.
Oh, I think
dot J-M.
G-O-V dot J-M.
Dot J-M.
Okay. All right. And the number is 876-948-6999.
Yes, that's correct.
All right. So we want to see if anybody up on the line now.
You want the WhatsApp too?
Yeah, man. We want everything, man.
All right. So they can we also do consultations by text messaging on WhatsApp at 505.
Wait. 505
9375.
9375. Okay, 876.
And then.
And what?
And then there's a Ministry of Justice toll-free line that they can call for free, so they don't have any excuse.
All right, give me the toll-free line.
888-JUSTICE.
Wait, Justice.
Easy to remember.
Yeah, but some of them people, when you say justice, they might look for the J.
I'm going to spell it out.
Okay.
I'm going to spell it out. 888.
Yes.
587.
Yes.
8423.
888-587-8423.
Yes, that's correct.
That's it. That's the toll free.
It's toll free.
Toll free. And somebody always answer.
Yes, somebody will answer that number.
Oh, it's not that you have to call and then you have to wait, like when you call bank, them no answer you and you have to wait. And they hear them say, please call again, dial, press 1, press 2, press 3.
No, someone will answer it.
Yeah, but somebody's supposed to answer the bank one and them no answer it neither. It's like an automated thing. It's not an automated thing you deal with that also.
No, I don't know. They should be able to get someone when they call the number.
No, matter how the toll-free one. It's not automated.
No, as far as I know, no.
You ever call it yet?
No. But I'm told the person that called it that they've got.
You are told? Yeah,
Yes.
But sometimes you get through the GPS before they cut off the light. Sometimes you don't get through. But all the while when you call for PI bill, you hear, please dial 1. If you are looking for that, dial 2. If you are looking for that, dial 3. And then when you dial the one where you want them, say, please hold the line. We'll be back. We'll be in after your next one in line. And them do that. So I just know say if this is the same thing because you don't know neither. So you tell
No,
me,
but I'm going to check it as soon as I'm finished and ensure that
see they know. That me not cost you and cost them. Come go to cost you and cost them. If my listener them got call the number and say, Muta, how a woman they talk about Rasta, how she tell herself to call it. I mean I say, boy, I don't know and I never call it yet, just like she. Anyway, all right. So we want to make tackle some things also. How long this organization, should I call it organization?
Yes, you can call it that.
Yeah. All right. How long it is in operation? What that? Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah. How long it in operation?
So it's been since year 2000, so it's 25 years.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, May of 2000, the law was passed.
And
prior to that, they used to grant legal aid enough, but only for serious offences under the Poor Prisoners Defence Act. And then they passed the Legal Aid Act to grant legal aid for children and other matters.
All right. You know a lady named Miss Flo O'Connor?
Yes.
Have you ever heard of Flo O'Connor?
Yes.
She used to be a part of this legal aid thing. She is justice she deal with, or is at least a legal aid thing? I think it's the same.
I think she was doing human rights.
Yeah, human rights.
Yes.
Yeah. You know her though?
Yes. Long time ago.
Yeah, long time.
I met her a long time ago, yes.
She was very active, very, very active lady, Flo O'Connor. As a matter of fact, she used to sit in on my night program sometime when I'm not there. She used to sit in with it. All right.
Okay.
All right, we're going to take a break. No, we're not taking the break yet. We're not taking the break yet. We just want to find out something here, so
you want to know how you must access the service?
Yes.
All right. So for duty council, that is where, as soon as they get arrested, they can call, anybody can call us. A family member can call us and say you have someone who's arrested, and then we will send a lawyer. Or they can also ask the police, the person who's arrested can ask the police to call a duty council, because the police is required by law to call a duty council for someone who asks for a lawyer.
That sounds lovely, That sounds very lovely.
Yes, I want people to know that.
Yes, if you come from a certain area, and you have to tell, after police only, you have to tell police to call. It's a serious problem. Problems.
Which is why we tell it to also tell the family members to call us, just to make sure. So the family members can call us.
Yes.
And then we will send a lawyer.
And how far you send a lawyer? Suppose there's something happening at Kingston and you're St. Catherine. You have lawyers in the area?
We have lawyers all over the island. Okay. Lawyers from all over. So the lawyers on our panel, they're drawn from private practice across the entire country. Mm-hmm. So there are lawyers everywhere to assist in every parish.
At any time
to
of
assist
the
the person.
Any time of the night.
Well, once you call us, we will send an attorney. I'm not sure if usually at night, sometimes the police stations, they don't carry a lot of activities at night time. They don't normally do any questioning and so on. So the lawyers would normally be there during a certain time, during daytime.
You have to wait till morning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because usually the jails they usually lock down the jails during a certain time.
That is your experience.
No, I mean persons are still arrested, but the lockup itself.
Yeah.
Right. They would normally have a little lockdown time.
All right.
Hello? I'm here.
Can I say Diane Watson?
Yes.
Executive Director of the Legal Aid Council. All right. Nobody up on the line, I assume. So make her ask you a question, How you decide if somebody cannot afford a lawyer, so them come to you? How you decide that?
Yes. So we only do that when someone wants to make an application to get a lawyer for court to try their case. And what we do, we do a means test. So we just look at their earnings and look at their expenses.
Oh, you have to go through all of that?
Yes, only for the lawyer in court. But remember, the duty council, now, once you get arrested, we want a lawyer come to you quick, because we don't want you to self-incriminate and get yourself in any trouble, So you don't need that one is completely free and you don't need any application. But to try the case in court, though, you need an application.
Okay. So if a man drive a Benz, 2025 Benz, and the next man drive a 2025 BMW, and then lick one another, and them come to you and say, boy, the man lick me, and the man say, you lick me, and the man say, boy, I can't afford no liar, you take that case.
I mean, if somebody's to get charged, because remember, if they're suing each other now, they need a civil matter. But if somebody gets charged, you'd have to be charged if they're charged for dangerous driving, because they don't give legally for all traffic matters.
Okay.
Only those serious ones where you can go to jail or the fine is very heavy.
So if one of them lick the other one and get charged, whether I drive a BMW 2025 or a Benz 2025, him can still solicit your.
But we're gonna do the means test though to find out if they really need legal aid or if they can retain an attorney.
Okay.
So, yeah, we have to do the means test. And when we do that test now, that sometimes we do the test and we ask persons to make a contribution towards their defense.
Okay.
Yeah, but that money goes into a contribution fund, and we use it to help persons who are charged before the court to get expert assistance. So if they want like a fingerprint expert, something to prove their case, we pay for it out of that money.
Okay, all right. Well, I guess I learn a lot right now, believe you me. And I'm making sure that I write down every number where you give me and I'm not going to call the toll number. I'm going to call the number that I see on top of the page where I don't give nobody. Where I have. I'm not going to call none of the bottom number here. So I call no cuss. I don't cuss. I easy for cuss.
I hope you won't have to, because the number works, even if you're trying.
No, man. No, the number where them see on top of the page, I go call. I call 1, 2, 3, 4. A 4 number you give me or so. I call none of them number there. Yes. Because I want to get vexed with you.
No, I want you to listen to the numbers work. You're going to call the 948-6999. That's the one you're going to call?
No. I call the one when I see on top of the page up there, so beside your name.
Okay.
That's the one. When I call me, I say, is this Mistress Watson? I ask if this is the Legal Aid Council. I ask about the Legal Aid Council. And Mrs. Watson, I call.
Okay. Very well. But I want your listeners to call the 948-6999 or the toll-free number.
I'll give them the number again. Definitely.
No problem.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much for that. You know, say what? I want Shamara call you back, you know.
Yeah.
Not now, but maybe next week or whatsoever. I'll love to talk to you again.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank you. And it was nice talking to you too.
Yeah, man. All right. So you can't go tell your husband now. So guess who I'm talking to? The Mutabaruka.
Okay, and I hope your listeners learned something today as well.
Bro, I learn a lot. I don't care about them. I learn a lot. If they want to learn something for them business, that I learn enough things. All right, give thanks.
Thank you. Okay, bye.
Okay, yes. Okay, that was the People's Court, and we was talking to Mrs. Diane Watson she's the executive director of the Legal Aid Council. So, a music news time, you know. Music news time. You know, so we can't bring over the African names them because it go right into the cash pot, you understand? But, you know, last week when the music news are going, we get the news that when them dead. My brains are functioning, you know. Yeah, anyway, we hear about the death of Junior Biles, and now we come now and hear about something else. But before we tell you this one, I could play this. So the news is that in the trial of the 3 police them who caused the death of Mario Dean, we hear that the 3 of them was found guilty. The 3 police them was found guilty after over 10 years. After over 10 years, it come to a conclusion that the 3 police them is guilty. And that's the end of that. That one, you look the mother who has been lobbying from Barnett Street since her son died until now. She never stopped. And now we should hear that the 3 police them is found guilty. Yes, and that is there. Because, you know, say, certain things have to come to a head. And it couldn't just go on. So, because in another 10 years there, we don't even know how much things the policeman them not do, or do. in a other people's life. So we say that. So listen up, top draw, dollars, pick 2, pick 3, pick 4, add pick and cash pot drive time draws. Up next, yes, cash pot style.
Now the news. Relief. That's the emotion expressed by Mario Dean's mother, Mercia Fraser, after a 7-member jury returned a guilty verdict against the 3 police officers charged with his 2014 murder. Dean, who was 31 years old at the time, was allegedly beaten while in police custody on ganja-related charges. He died days later in hospital. Corporal Elaine Stewart and Constables Juliana Cleveland and Marlon Grant, who were reportedly on duty at the time of the incident, were charged with manslaughter, misconduct in a public office, and attempting to pervert the course of justice. The cops were found guilty today after the jury deliberated for 2 hours. Speaking with reporters after the verdict was handed down, Dean's mother recounted her nervousness as she waited to see if justice would be served for her son.
It's just a sigh of relief. I was nervous. My belly was like, I was nervous totally. But when I heard the verdict, I just feel that sigh of relief on my body. It's overwhelming. I'm just overwhelmed.
She said she is grateful for today's outcome, as she had promised her son on his deathbed that she would pursue justice for him.
I thank God most that he owed me that I could keep it out until this time. And I don't know how I would feel if I didn't really stick to the race and do it. It wasn't easy. And I tell you, even since I come here, sometimes I feel like I want to leave because it's just like it going. But today, I feel relieved because, you know, I used to say that I'm not even sure that I will get justice in Jamaica. But my God, it's not only Mario get justice today. I know many more people who has lost their son, right, in this kind of condition. Really feel a little bit of relief.
Mario Dean's mother, Mercia Fraser. The cops are to return to court for sentencing on July 1. Meanwhile, lobby group Jamaicans for Justice JFJ has welcomed the guilty verdict. Executive Director Michael Jackson said, though justice has been served after 11 years, she is happy with the outcome of the trial.
After what can only be described as an agonizing and traumatic experience for the mother of Mario Dean, Mercia Fraser, we're happy that we can say justice for Mario Dean has been realized. After a lengthy 11-year wait for justice, JFJ welcomes the outcome of the trial that has seen 3 officers being found guilty in connection to Mario's death. We are quite happy that majority of the jury found the officers guilty. And what this particular case represents is the deep systemic failures within Jamaica's justice system, where you can have someone being killed or dying in police custody and it takes 11 years for a trial to be concluded, because unfortunately there are several other matters that JFJ is supporting family members. One of them, at least 25 years have passed since the family member was killed at the hands of the state, and to date there is no outcome where the family can feel some level of comfort that justice has been realized.
She said there are several issues with Jamaica's justice system that must be fixed.
When you look at the reasons for the delay in Mario's trial, you're talking about administrative issues, juror shortage, jury summons not being served. These are emblematic of systemic issues in the justice system that we all need to say to the state, these things must be fixed for people to realize justice. Mercia Fraser's courage and resilience is admirable. But again, we're happy that after 11 years, she can finally get some closure for the death of her son.
Ms. Jackson reaffirmed that JFJ will continue to press for reforms.
JFJ, we remain resolute in our commitment to advocating for victims of state abuse whose cases have been languishing for years without any closure. We will continue to press for reforms to ensure timely justice, stronger accountability system, and the protection of every Jamaican's right to life and dignity. In this particular case here for Mario Dean, justice delayed did not deny the family justice because we are happy with the outcome. But unfortunately, this is not so for every family member. And going forward, we should ensure that no family member is there waiting for over a decade for their matters to be heard before the courts. And certainly for any accused, they should not also be waiting for a year.
JFJ's Executive Director, Michael Jackson. 2 police officers are to return to court next month on assault charges stemming from an incident in St. Thomas over 4 years ago. They are Corporal Courtney Lewis and Corporal Marlon Shaw. Both corporals appeared before the St. Thomas Parish Court yesterday after they were charged in relation to the incident which happened on December 31, 2020 in the Heart East District in Yallas. It's alleged that the officers used excessive force during arresting procedures which resulted in facial injuries to the complainant. Following a probe by the Independent Commission of Investigations, the Office of Director of Public Prosecutions ruled that the corporal should be charged. Corporal Shaw was charged with unlawful wounding, while Courtney Lewis was charged with assault occasioning actual bodily harm. They were bound over by the next court date, June 4. The Home Circuit Court today heard that Constable Noel Maitland allegedly asked a neighbor to delete footage of him from his cameras in July 2022, around the same time Maitland's girlfriend Donnelly Donaldson went missing. Constable Maitland is on trial for the murder of Donaldson, who disappeared sometime around July 12, 2022. He is also charged with preventing the lawful burial of a corpse. The witness testified that Mr. Maitland told him he would not want things saved on the cameras, such as him walking by with a spliff, to affect him getting a promotion he was up for. The witness also testified that Mr. Maitland asked him during a telephone conversation on July 13, 2022 at 7 p.m. if he could take his word that nothing would be saved from the camera. He said he told Mr. Maitland he would have to check when he got home. The witness testified that Mr. Maitland came by his apartment on July 14, 2022 at 11 a.m. to view the footage. The witness, who worked from home, said he was in a meeting when Mr. Maitland visited, so he sent him a message via WhatsApp advising him. He said Mr. Maitland waited at the door for 15 minutes. The witness said he invited him inside, after which he started to navigate the recording device to locate the requested footage. The witness also told the court that on the footage on July 11, 2022, he saw a woman exiting Mr. Maitland's car from the passenger side. The witness said Constable Maitland asked again that he delete the footage. The trial is set to resume next Monday. Police are searching for a man who allegedly committed several robberies in Maypen, Clarendon yesterday. The man has not been identified by name, but lawmen provided a photograph of the person of interest. He is of dark complexion and sports a plaited hairstyle. Acting head of the Clarendon Police Deputy Superintendent Anton Cargo-Adosa says the man is also accused of rape and is considered armed and dangerous.
He is the main person of interest in 4 robberies and 2 cases of rape reported within the past 24 hours in the Maypen police area. He is considered armed and dangerous. If you see this individual or have any information regarding his identity or whereabouts, please contact the Maypen CIB at 876-832-2077, the Police Emergency Communication Center at 119. We look forward to your assistance in locating this individual as we remain resolute in our commitment to upholding law and order and ensuring the safety and security of all citizens.
Acting head of the Clarendon Police, Deputy Superintendent Anton Cardoza. The St. Elizabeth Police will continue to push its operational strategies as they aim to further reduce murders in the parish. Providing an update to Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness, Commanding Officer Superintendent Coleridge Minto noted that the parish is seeing a 62% reduction in murders. According to Superintendent Minto, this is the lowest reduction recorded in the past 10 years.
One of the safest, if not the safest parish in the country. Currently, sir, we have 6 murders when compared to 16 for the corresponding period last year, a reduction of over 62%. And 6 is even too many, Prime Minister. We are continuing to ensure that our assets are deployed across various spaces to ensure that we limit the opportunity for those who want to commit criminal activities.
He is expecting that St. Elizabeth will end the year with phenomenally low numbers.
We're already seeing a 10-year low in terms of murders. Lowest it has been in 10 years, and we intend to have that record being smashed even further.
Meanwhile, Superintendent Minto noted that proactive community outreach and support systems are being employed to tackle interpersonal and domestic violence. These initiatives are being carried out through the Domestic Violence Center and Restorative Justice programs.
We have seen a number of interpersonal issues, conflicts that resulted in fights, which ultimately resulted in assaults and charges being laid for persons. And so we appeal to persons to utilize the Domestic Violence Center in Santa Cruz, and we also have through the Ministry of Justice, the Restorative Justice Center also in Santa Cruz. We have been going across the parish with a number of our interventions. 2 days ago, we were walking in Black River Town Center with the child diversion persons, the CPFSA representative, the police and other stakeholders speaking about these kind of issues. But we do have them in the parish, sir. Not an alarming rate, but they are certainly noteworthy to mention.
Head of the St. Elizabeth Police, Superintendent Coleridge Minto. Following news that Jamaica's poverty rate declined significantly in 2023, the Planning Institute of Jamaica PIOJ is projecting that the downward trend will hold in 2025. Yesterday, the PIOJ released Jamaica's 2023 poverty data, noting that it was estimated at 8.2%, a decline from 16.7% in 2021. PIOJ's Director General, Dr. Wayne Henry, said this reduction represents the lowest rate recorded since the poverty rate was first measured in 1989. Responding to reporters about whether this reduction would continue in 2025, Dr. Henry said declines are expected if there is no shock to the economy. He explained that potential shocks could stem from national disasters and international geopolitical tensions. He also noted that Jamaica could see continued declines if it continues to implement initiatives such as the Poor Relief Program and the Program of Advancement through Health and Education Path.
There's expectation for continued reduction in poverty as we continue to roll out those initiatives around the poverty reduction program, including social protection initiatives, etc. The risks to that would be shocks, external shocks, exogenous shocks, including not just weather related, as we would have said, but the current global economic realities, from geopolitical tensions, as well as whether trade, economic policies may be new at this time. So a lot of volatility in the global space, and we continue to watch those. But left alone, the momentum for continued reduction, we've said, that is expected to continue.
PIOJ's Director General, Dr. Wayne Henry. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness has hit back at critics who say that his administration is only focused on high-level macroeconomics. Speaking at this morning's post-cabinet press briefing, the Prime Minister again sought to assure the island that his administration cares for the poor. He made the statement as he commented on yesterday's report from the Planning Institute of Jamaica PIOJ that the poverty rate declined from 16.7% in 2021 to 8.2% in 2023.
So this issue, which I've heard being said that our government focuses on trickle-down economics, meaning that we only focus on making businesses work and focusing on the high-level macro stuff. That's absolute rubbish. There could be no greater lie told on government policy than that. this administration has been the most focused on treating with the microeconomic elements of poverty, dealing with the social safety net, putting in place things like the social pension, which didn't exist before. All of these are deliberate strategies, not giveaways, not wishful and fancy things to just spend, but things that make you able to earn from your labor and your talent.
He reiterated that his administration plans to eliminate absolute poverty.
The next step of the government is to end absolute poverty in Jamaica. This is something that I have said before, and it is the intention. At 8%, we are within striking distance of that. We can end absolute poverty. But of course, once you reach to that point, you're going to set a different threshold, a much higher threshold. So you're in a different level now. And that's the idea. So we want to ensure that we push this poverty prevalence number way down. And then at that point, we can revise what's the new threshold for somebody to be considered living at or below the poverty line. So it's quite doable. It is within our capabilities to do it, but we must continue with the strategic policies.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness. The gross international reserves remain healthy at $5.9 billion. Speaking at a press briefing yesterday, Bank of Jamaica BOJ Governor Richard Biles noted that the exchange rate depreciation expectation is stable.
Expectations about exchange rate depreciation have remained relatively stable. At the 14th of May 2025, the exchange rate had depreciated on a year-over-year basis by 1.9%. There was a mild uptick in the pace of depreciation between the end of April and early May, in the context of a slight increase in demand and a build-up of foreign exchange positions by authorized dealers. In response, the bank augmented flows in the market. Cumulatively, BOJ has sold $1.1 billion by its B-Fixit facility over the 12 months to the end of April 2025, compared to $983 million over the 12-month period to the end of April 2024.
He said the reserve is 135% of the measure considered to be adequate.
However, it is important to note that the bank net purchased approximately $1.1 billion over the 12-month period to April 2025. Therefore, as at the 14th of May, Jamaica's gross international reserves remain healthy, amounting to $5.9 billion or 135% of the measure considered to be adequate.
BOJ Governor Richard Biles. The opposition is calling for proof of transactions in relation to the acquisition of a neurosurgical drill for the Bustamante Hospital for Children to be provided. This after Managing Director of Medical Technologies Limited, Ethel Hamilton, yesterday rejected the opposition's allegations that the company was involved in massive overpricing in the acquisition of the drill. On Tuesday, spokesman on health Dr. Alfred Dawes held a press conference where he claimed that just over $31 million was spent on the drill. He said the equipment purchased by the Southeast Regional Health Authority, SERA, for the hospital was not new and that the purchase price was around $250,000. Medical Technologies Limited said both claims are false. In a statement today, Dr. Dawes said the company must answer several questions. He also called for the necessary documents to be released.
They have acknowledged the transaction, but dodged every critical question about transparency, legality, and why taxpayers paid 10 times the global price. Let's talk cost and lack of proof. Where are the import records? Where is the customs declaration? If this drill was legally imported as they claim, why can't they show us the paperwork? A $31 million price tag demands proof, not press releases.
He also criticized the Health Ministry's procurement system.
The Ministry of Health designed these procurement rules. This isn't just about one drill. It's about a system that allows irregularities to thrive while our hospitals struggle. I am calling for three things. First, the Auditor General must investigate. Second, customs must release all documents pertaining to this importation of the drill. Third, Sarah and the Ministry of Health must confirm if due diligence was done. This isn't politics. It's about protecting every Jamaican dollar.
Opposition spokesman on health, Dr. Alfred Dawes. Efforts to complete roof repairs at the Norman Manley International Airport, NMIA, in Kingston are underway, with arrangements solidified with contractors from Israel. Director of Maintenance Catherine Prendergast made the disclosure during an NMIA forum today. She said local contractors were used to fix one of two roofs at the airport. Ms. Prendergast noted, however, that the designs and materials needed for the repair of the other roof were not available. As such, foreign contractors were employed.
The original sections of the terminal building were complete slab roofs, and over time you need to rehabilitate them, re-screed and re-waterproof to continue the longevity of the building. So we executed the concrete roofs in the Q1 and halfway here through Q2 of 2025 by our local contractor, Leora Clark Welding, and they had completed that job here in May. We have one or two spots that are a little problematic, but they'll be sorted soon. Our second roof, which is our main terminal roof, which is a metal-clad roof. This roof was done during the expansion of the terminal building of the Norman Manley Airport in 2006. The designers, manufacturers, and installers of that original roof are Palgag out of Israel. You would have known that from Beryl last year. We had a section of our roof taken away by that Catford girl, and we did a temporary repair in-house because we had some sections available to us. However, it needs to be permanently repaired. We tried locally to see if we could find companies that would assist us, but based on the design and the material used, it is not something that's readily available in Jamaica. So we had to reach out across the waters to Israel. We have engaged a company who have manufactured all the components required to do the permanent repair of that damaged section, but also just to give us an overall repair and update and rehab of the roof.
She said it's hoped that containers with materials will reach the island by July.
We're roughly 17 years on that roof, so it's fair enough. They're coming this far, might as well have everything done. So they are shipping their containers next week, and we're hoping for landfall in Jamaica by July, and the period of that project will be 8 months to complete that refurbishment. And after that, you don't need your umbrella anymore when you're passing on the pier.
Director of Maintenance at the NMIA, Catherine Prendergast. Children's advocate Diane Gordon Harrison is stressing the importance of strategic education campaigns within schools as one measure to mitigate against child abuse. According to Mrs. Gordon Harrison, educational institutions are among the greatest spaces that have concerns in relation to children. Among those concerns are physical abuse and neglect of duties by persons who work within these learning institutions. The children's advocate notes that while several principals, teachers, and other professionals within the school space are getting it right, there is still more work to be done.
We continue to see reports coming out of certain institutions that have challenges. And so where we stand is we have to have very strategic, what I call public education, so that persons who are in the institutions know what's appropriate and what's not. Because sometimes when we get the reports and our investigations department, for example, intervenes with the school, we learn that the teachers are very well intentioned, very much challenged and want to see a change in the behavior, but they're not sure how to navigate that process and how to ensure that the practices that they're, pursuing are compliant with how the children ought to be taught and how they ought to be corrected.
Mrs. Gordon Harrison also highlights the importance of serious dialogue with school officials, especially about establishing and implementing standard operating protocols when issues arise.
If something happens, there's a very clear understanding as to what happens next. What is the process that is going to be pursued to ensure that nobody's acting excessively or acting out of turn, and then we have these issues of abuse coming to the fore. And also, one of the things that the office continues to do is where there is overwhelming evidence and the situation so demands it, then we represent the child in the context of what needs to happen so that there is some redress for the violation that may have taken place.
Children's advocate Diane Gordon Harrison. She was speaking with reporters following an event in Montego Bay, St. James yesterday. And with that story, we have come to the